This is my armor! Everyone, at least once in a lifetime, had to face it. The public. Maybe not this one, but probably this one. The fear of public speaking is common for the majority of people, so there is nothing shameful in it. In this video, I'll share with you 5 crazy tips that really help me to overcome the anxiety of the public speaking. Why they are crazy, you'll see it. Let's begin. Craziness intensifies. It may sound banal, and you may say, what is crazy about that? But you should really rehearse your talk. This can help you to memorize it well and keep it in your head but not on your paper, you know. A colleague of mine told me that the more he rehearsed, the more he was getting anxious. And I got it why. Because he read it from a paper. And the text actually remained on the paper, outside of his memory. Now I suggest you one crazy thing. In order to become a confident speaker, you need from 10 to 15 rehearsals. If you're a person from business, you probably actually even don't know that around 99% of people in academia read their papers from paper. I suggest to stop reading and finally start talking. But in order to talk in front of the public, you really need these 10 rehearsals. My crazy tip here is not to read it 10 or 15 times from the paper, but really to speak your text 10 or 15 times. For me, as a non-native English speaker, 10 rehearsals is a perfect number. I never actually write down my entire papers. I only indicate some structure, and while rehearsing, I'm feeling these bones of the structure with the flesh of my argument. I usually do my 10 rehearsals several days before my public presentation. This really helps me to build up my confidence and to remember what I'm going to say. After these rehearsals, I'm sure I will not be able to fail my talk. Another crazy tip is the final rehearsal right before your talk. It's crazy because it's not always possible to perform, but if it happened, it actually guarantees that your talk will succeed. One of my coolest talks actually had that final rehearsal right before the talk in the same room during the coffee break. Then nobody actually saw me. This final rehearsal in that very room where I was going to present boosted my energy to the level of a fight. And you know, every presentation is actually a certain fight where you should gain the attention of your audience at all costs. So, then people came in the room. I was ready to fight. I've been polishing my gears. I've been trying blows and counter blows. The audience was doomed. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. This may sound really crazy. I suggest to sing or even to dance right before your presentation. The thing is that the most dreadful time is not your talk itself, but that hour right before your talk. And if you are tired of rehearsals, you don't know what to do and your anxiety is mounting, the best way is to keep you energized and to keep you on a very good mood is to sing and to dance. I spent my dreadful hour right before my PhD defense online while singing the lovely melody. Thanks God nobody listened because I don't have a musical ear. And I tell you, it worked! After the defense, people kept telling me that I was really enjoying my PhD defense and I was beaming all the time. So this means I was really in the mood to present, to answer all the questions that people asked me. And this was the best thing ever. Do I look like a hobbit? I think I do. With experience, I realized that the biggest fear of the public speaking actually come before the talk. And I have one great tip to deal with this. Last year, I went to my first conference after a long pandemic break. I had spent somewhat 1.5 years in the same place, the small town where I did my PhD. And from this perspective, the conference itself and the trip, the road, looked scary. A lot of new people, many of them professors and senior scholars, and I had to present my paper in front of them. In order to deal with my nerves, I got the idea to imagine that I am a hobbit going to an adventure. And I made a post on Facebook. Getting on the bus from Brussels to Paris, I kept comparing myself with a small and insignificant hobbit who, however, has the mithril coat under his cloak. And I myself has my blazer, this very blazer, under my cloak. This blazer was a perfect illustration of a mithril coat, at least for me. And it worked. Cosplayers actually noticed that when we were in costumes, they in a way could perform things that they usually had not been good at. For instance, to talk with children. My imaginary mithril coat actually helped me to speak with elderly, grand-looking professors. And I truly felt like a hobbit among the big people. A small hobbit, but in the real coat. With experience, I realize that the place where I stand during my talk is the safe place. I would say it's the safest. I worry a lot right before my talk, but as soon as I get to the stage, the worries frequently leave me. Then I begin to talk. I get caught in that flow of my own words and the ideas that I would love to share with others. I'm not afraid anymore. I can even improvise a little. I'm enjoying myself. And actually, what is dangerous in standing and speaking in front of the public? They can't do anything bad to you. If you're afraid that they may ask questions you're not able to answer, forget about it for a while and enjoy your talk. I'll give you some more tips on questions and how to deal with them in my next videos. That's all for today. Hope this video was helpful. See you in the next one. This is my armor! So I think they heard me. Let me introduce you to my plants. This is philodendron. Forgot. And the final thing may sound absolutely, oh gosh, I didn't